Therefore, the redeemed of Yahuwah shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. This is end time stuff because this has not happened where everlasting joy shall be on their head. There's a lot to be said about this. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. Give me a second here. I'm trying not to swallow in the mics. I know you guys can hear like the what. Yeah. So this is the second Exodus, brothers and sisters. We can't talk enough about this. This is what we're waiting for. You can see I've got a couple of verses here. Jeremiah 23:7-8. Therefore, behold, the days come, and we're still waiting for it, saith Yahuwah, that they shall no more say, Yahuwah liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So he's saying they're not even going to talk about that anymore. But Yahuwah liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all the countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. This is the regathering of all the tribes, brothers and sisters. It has not happened yet. Jeremiah 31:7-11. For thus saith Yahuwah, sing with gladness for Jacob, and shout among the chief of the nations, publish ye, praise ye, and say, O Yahuwah, save thy people, the remnant of Israel. Behold, I will bring them from the north country, and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. They shall come with weeping, and with supplications will I lead them. Actually, let me pause here real quick. I'm going to read for you. I need to read for you also this verse in the Septuagint. It'll blow your mind. What's been hidden from us. They shall come with weeping, and with supplications will I lead them. I will cause them to walk by the rivers of water in a straight way, wherein they shall not stumble. What do you think that straight way is? Do you think that's the straight and narrow path? For I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. Hear the word of Yahuwah, O ye nations, and declare it in the isles afar off, and say, He that scattered Israel will gather him, and keep him, as a shepherd doth his flock. For Yahuwah hath redeemed Jacob, and ransomed him from the hand of him that was stronger than he. Let's take a look at something that was hidden from you, from us, brothers and sisters. It is in Jeremiah, and I actually want to show you real quickly again. This is Jeremiah 31:8, talking about the regathering. So really quickly, the Masoretic, it was roughly penned, I think, in 900 A.D., the Septuagint, roughly 200 BC, so like 1,100 years older. The Septuagint is 1,100 years older. And there's a lot of things that are cut out of the Masoretic that are in the Septuagint. Let's see what was cut out of here. So let me read this again in the Masoretic real quick. Jeremiah 31:8. Behold, I will bring them forth from the north country, and gather them from the coasts of the earth, and with them the blind and the lame, and the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together. A great company shall return thither. So in the Septuagint, the chapters in Jeremiah are switched around a little bit, but you'll see the same thing here. Jeremiah 38:8. Behold, I bring them from the north, and will gather them from the end of the earth to the feast of Passover. And the people shall beget a great multitude, and they shall return thither. So, wow. Is that possibly hiding the day that we're looking for? And honestly, no wonder. History repeats itself. Let me actually, you know what? I'm going to read a little bit of this post. I didn't think I was going to, but I might as well just read it for you. This is a post I made on Facebook. Let me zoom in a little bit. This is a post I made on Facebook. Let me just read it for you. The day we are waiting for. Many understand that Israel is still in dispersion, in captivity, if you will. I believe America to be a type of modern-day Egypt, the world military and financial power, just like Egypt was back in the day. Like we've seen in history, Yahuwah's people have typically been in captivity underneath these world powers, Egypt, Babylon, Assyria. With this in mind, I found a passage in the Septuagint that had information cut out of the Masoretic text that may be very telling, pertaining to the day that we are waiting for. The Masoretic text is dated around 9th century, whereas the Septuagint is this should read 8th century, whereas the Septuagint is approximately 200 BC. Jeremiah 31:8 in the Masoretic. Actually, we'll skip this because I already showed you this. So again, I'm emphasizing here the Feast of Passover. So then I wrote, honestly, this shouldn't be a shocking information. As we know, history repeats itself, much like we see the plagues in Revelation are similar to that we see in Exodus. And of course, this is corroborated by the promise of a gathering Exodus we see in Deuteronomy 30:1-3. I read this for you guys a little earlier. I'll skip down to 3, and just basically what we missed here is that once we're scattered, and after some time passed, and we come back to him, we come back to obeying his voice, according to all his commandments, that then Yahuwah, thy Elohim, will return thy captivity and have compassion on you, and will return you and gather you from all the nations whither Yahuwah has gathered thee. So we're waiting for it. Yes, history will repeat itself according to Ezekiel 20. And I will bring you out from the people and gather. Actually, a lot of this we have already read. So basically, he's saying that he's going to bring us out into the wilderness again, and he'll plead with us face to face, like as he pleaded with our fathers in the wilderness in the land of Egypt, so will he plead with us again. Jeremiah 23:7-8, we just read. Anyways, actually, let me just read this. 2 Ezra 2. Rise and stand and see at the feast of Yahuwah the number of those who have been sealed. Those who have departed from the shadow of this age have received glorious garments of Yahuwah. Take again your full number, O Zion, and conclude the list of your people who are clothed in white, who have fulfilled the Torah of Yahuwah. The number of your children whom you desired is full. Beseech Yahuwah's power that your people who have been called from the beginning may be made holy. Just to imagine that we may be those people that were called from the beginning. And lastly, remember that Messiah said during Passover, his last meal. Matthew 26-29, but I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of the fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. I think Passover may be the timing of what we are waiting for. Glory and hallelujah to Yahuwah through Messiah, Yahusha. So, big rabbit trail, but I thought it was pretty important in relation to the second Exodus.